Today we're going to compare Namecheap versus GoDaddy for buying domains because I recently found myself wondering about this and didn't find much content on it. Honestly, it's pretty easy to compare both by just going to each website. However, in this case, we're going to compare these two platforms and I'll give you a heads up that Namecheap is. For me personally, it's the best platform for buying domains. Just a heads up, I'm talking about domains, not necessarily hosting. And in fact, it's better than pretty much any other, even over GoDaddy. So let's choose any domain here on Namecheap. Let's search for a domain called Food Carts, for example. And we're going to do the exact same thing with GoDaddy. So let's search for Food Carts. And we're going to see the big difference when it comes to buying a domain. So first of all, well, if I'm not mistaken, I think the .com is taken. So we don't have any other options like that. Let's see if we can put foodcarts.com and it shows us. In this case, it's taken. Well, we have to make an offer, but alright, let's choose an alternative. Maybe XYZ, info, or even .co. Let's go with this foodcarts.co. So let's go ahead and put that one. Let's insert it here. We're going to hit enter, and we're going to go back here to Food Carts on GoDaddy. In this case, it gives us the .com.co alternative. Gives us some points, that's for sure. As for the interface, it's pretty cool how GoDaddy presents this because it directly tells us how we could use it and why our domain is good. But obviously, no matter what you put, they're going to say, your domain is excellent, beautiful, gorgeous. But anyway, we have this reflected in Colombian pesos because I'm in Colombia, so don't worry, we'll do the conversion later. But alright, let's switch to foodcarts.co and see one of the differences. So, one of the differences, in this case, let's see, that gives us a price $69.99. We're coming to Google, and let's search $6,999. It's only 0.18 cents. So, it says, but round here, miss 0, 6,999, miss the 9. It would be 1.76. Now if we go back to Namecheap, this same domain will cost us 9.48 per year. That is, it will be much more expensive to buy it at Namecheap than at GoDaddy. But why? So I'm saying that Namecheap is better than GoDaddy. Well, let's see the following. First of all, this condition here is only for the first year with a 2-year term, meaning this price is just for 1 year and only if we buy this domain for 2 years. We'll see that in a bit. Let's add it to the cart. And over here we're also going to buy this one from Namecheap. So let's see what we end up with. And here it gives us other options to include with our domain. If we want to maybe buy hosting, WordPress, VPN, Social Media Manager, an email, SSL, Premium DNS, or Sideload Website Protect. So basically, we don't want any of this. We only want the domain. So let's go to our cart. Let's check the cart. Here we have it. Stay really alert about the prices and the timing. Now let's take a look. Let's go back to GoDaddy and click here to continue so we can check out the prices. So here again, everywhere you look, it's not just a GoDaddy or Namecheap thing. All these platforms are always going to try to sell you all of the services they offer. Let's hit continue and go to the cart, and here we're going to start seeing the main comparison. So what happens is this price here of $6,999. See, it doesn't even exist anymore. What we have here is $176,998 for 2 years. So what happens is, if you're going to buy your domain for 2 years, it might be a good deal for you, but most people want to buy their domain for just 1 year. So what happens if I choose 1 year? In this case, well, the first year is going to cost me here. It's $9.48 for Namecheap, and for GoDaddy it's $49,999. Let's calculate the difference and put it down. So here, oh, but I didn't set it up the other way around. So here, we're going to notice that in the case of GoDaddy, well, there's not much of a difference. But if I buy it for a year, it's in Colombian pesos. Let's remember. But if I convert these Colombian pesos to dollars, it comes out to $12.57. But if I buy from Namecheap, it is $9.48. For those who want to understand in Colombian pesos, 37,707 pesos. As you can see here, it's less than what they would be charging me here. Now, we have another extremely important thing, and that's the topic of renewal. For example, if I'm going to buy it for just 1 year. Notice that in both cases, it's for 1 year. Sorry, here, for 1 year. So, what it's really going to cost me to renew it. In the case of Namecheap, it's going to be this price that appears here, underlined, which is basically the normal price. It's just that for the first year, there's a discount, which is this one. So let's take another look at the price. And here in GoDaddy, they charge me $169,999. So for those who want to understand this, let's go over it again. We're converting this from Colombian pesos, eh? And in this case, it would be 42.74 cents, $42.74. Whereas if we go back to Namecheap and look at this, 26.98. So that Colombians understand me now, let's change it up. They would charge me 107,316 to renew it later. It means it would be way cheaper for me to renew directly with Namecheap than with GoDaddy. Because, for example, here it's 170,000 to renew it later, and here it's 107,000. That is 61 and 3,000 pesos less for Colombians so they can understand me. And in the case of Colombian pesos, in the case of dollars, sorry, here as you can see, it's 26.58. And in this case, over here it's let's see 42.74. So that's about $16, 17 give or take. I would be saving some money if I buy it with Namecheap. But that's not all, because by now I think we all agree that it's obviously better to buy the domain with Namecheap than with GoDaddy. Right. But now let's look at what comes right below, which is the complete domain protection. This protection here isn't free. And as you can see, if I enable it, it's going to add an amount of money here of 30,000 pesos. So, as you can see, if I increase this for anyone who wants to know this, in dollars, it's about 7.50. Obviously, this changes depending on each country, but really the prices are quite similar. It's just that depending on the country you're from, the currency is obviously going to change. So, as you can see, I would have to pay for this. But look, the domain privacy, which is the same as what appears here on Namecheap, is completely free for me and forever. And what does this forever mean, and why does it appear this way? Well, it refers to forever, not because it will always be free. So, even if I no longer have the domain, or I deactivate it, or something like that, it means that, let's say, if I renew this domain, year after year, every time I renew it, this protection is also going to renew completely free of charge. So, that's why it shows up as 0 forever. And in this case, it would charge me those, how much was it? $7.54. I mean, in this case, it would be really expensive, and I would have to renew this every year. And not to mention if I, for example, send this to, let's say, I deactivate it. We're not going to put it on equal terms, because it's supposed to give me domain privacy here. And here too. So let's set it for 5 years. And let's also set this one for 5 years, to see the big difference when doing it for the first time. Obviously, there's a discount on both platforms, but let's see if it's worth it or if the discount is really worth it. Maybe you have a project, like this food cart, and you think, wow, this project is going to last for the rest of my life, and I need to have this domain for a really long time. So, in the case of Namecheap, it's at $117.40. And then, in the case, GoDaddy's total is 846,990 Colombian pesos. Keep in mind that we're adding the protection. I'm including this, because if Namecheap offers it for free, then why not add it, right? Right. So we come over here and we realize it's $200.94. That is to say, even if we took away the discount, and Namecheap didn't give us a discount for the first year, it would still basically be cheaper, even without a discount on Namecheap than on GoDaddy, buying our domain. So basically, it would still be cheaper, even without a discount on Namecheap than on GoDaddy, buying our domain. Because literally, look, it's $212 versus $117, which means that it's practically almost $100, a little less really, but literally. So look at that huge difference, and obviously you'll say, well, but it's adding up to a lot for the protection. But if I have it for free here, why would I need to add it? But let's say we deactivate it. Let's see how much 696,995 leaves us. Let's copy it. And if some say that privacy isn't important, then what's the point of having it? Well, I'm good. It doesn't matter. Let's put it here and realize that without that privacy, maybe for some who don't care about that protection, we have 175.23. That is to say, it is still more expensive. In GoDaddy.